PSG have never won the Champions League. Inter Milan are finalists again. They both rightfully deserve the trophy. PSG, after a bad start and rebuilding the team without their superstars. Or Inter and their amazing performances as the oldest team in the competition and their impressive comeback against Barcelona. However, there could only be one winner, and I think it'll be PSG. And I'm not saying that because I like to see Mbappé die inside, but it makes more sense when you look at the statistics. Even though we can all agree, it'll be a very close game. From tactical systems to XG, squad profiles to matchups. Here's why Paris Saint-Germain are about to lift their first ever UCL trophy and how Inter might finally break. PSG this season have their best team in a decade, even better to when they had Mbappé, Neymar, and Messi in 2021. PSG have scored 25 goals in the Champions League this season, second highest overall behind only Manchester City. They've conceded just 9 goals in 12 matches, a defensive record comparable to Inter's. Luis Enrique's side ranks top 3 in progressive carries and final third entries per 90 in the UCL. What's changed? Midfield cohesion. Zaire-Emery and Vitinha form a high-pressing triangle. Defense-first fullbacks. Hakimi Mendes push, but they recover. Wide threat. Barcola and Dembele, who's having the best season of his career, average 3.7 successful dribbles per game combined. This team isn't built to entertain. It's built to break systems. And Inter's is next. This is not to talk down on Inter Milan. Let's be clear, they are monsters. They had an impressive Champions League run, conceding only 1 goal in the league phase, which is unbelievable. They are solid defensively, and they have great strikers, Lautaro Martinez and Thuram, who will convert shots that the average player won't, something that PSG lacks. In fact, they're the exact opposite. Just look at Barcola and Doué against Arsenal. They missed some clear goals. And yes, maybe you can attribute that to youth and inexperience, which makes it a double-edged sword here. Another strength for Inter is their 3-5-2 is a masterclass in spacing with midfield compression and wing-back width. Martinez has 9 goal contributions in this UCL run, the most by an Inter player since Milito in 2010. But their biggest strength, predictable control, is exactly where PSG can strike. Here's the problem for Inter. Their back 3 of Acerbi, Bastoni, and Pavard, solid but average speed at best. PSG's Dembele, Barcola, and Hakimi create more overloads on the flanks than almost any team left in Europe. Inter's midfield relies on Mkhitaryan, 35, and Calhanoglu for tempo against PSG's press. That's a physical mismatch. Statistically, PSG recover position in the attacking third 7.1 times per game. Inter, just 4.8. That pressure over 90 minutes can crack even the cleanest system. Finals are about margins, and this one will come down to 3 zones. 1. Wide areas. Barcola versus Darmian. 121 with top 3 take-on success in the UCL. The other's 34. PSG averaged 5.3 successful dribbles down the left per game. Inter's right side is statistically their most targeted. To midfield transition, Vitinha has created 16 chances in the last 5 UCL games, more than De Bruyne. Zaire-Emery covers 10.9 km per game. Breaking lines, pressing, recovering. Against Arsenal, PSG recovered the ball higher upfield than any other team all season. Inter will get the same space they had vs Barca. 3. Goalkeepers. Donnarumma has a save percentage of 78% this UCL campaign. Sommer, just 68% despite his saves against Barcelona. Inter Milan know this stage. They've reached the final twice in the past 3 years. They've been here, and that's exactly why the pressure shifts to them. PSG, however, is supposed to choke like they did for the past decade, the 6-1 remontada against Barcelona, the 17 minutes of Karim Benzema. But this year, they've done the opposite. On multiple occasions, comeback win via Real Sociedad and Manchester City. Tactically perfect tie versus Barcelona. shut down Arsenal in both legs, bouncing back from a sloppy start of the season. Meanwhile, Inter haven't faced a top 3 pressing team as PSG yet in this run. Yes, they eliminated Barcelona, one of the favorites to win the tournament, but their defense is arguably weak. Against PSG, they will face a well-structured team. And tactically, this might be Enrique's masterstroke. A manager who's won the Champions League before, now coaching with nothing to lose, and a group that plays without fear. A prediction built on patterns. Do I want PSG to win? Yes. But I also think that Inter is deserving of the trophy too. It's a close tie, and just as close. PSG versus Arsenal was predicted. This is the same, and it'll end with PSG's first Champions League